Everybody, Dr. Tom Phelan here with another 8-minute parenting tip. Our topic today is when kids tell lies. This is a subject that gets a lot of parents upset. We're going to do it kind of quickly, and we're going to talk about two big lessons today. The first is what we call an attitude adjustment, and the second is a battle plan for dealing with lying. So another way of talking about attitude adjustment is what to think, how to think correctly about lying. And the battle plan is, of course, what to do. So let's dig in and see what we can come up with. So our attitude adjustment, what to think differently. Incorrect thinking about lying produces 3 results in adults, and they're all bad. So when we think incorrectly about lying, we get bewildered and confused, we get emotionally agitated, and we come up with lousy strategies. So being bewildered and confused is not any way to handle lying. So let's try and think the problem over a little bit better, because it's very unpleasant to think of lying as a horrible behavior, as something that you just dread happening. One of the things that we parents think about lying is an awful behavior, and it's a sign of mental illness, sign of emotional disturbance in my children. This is not correct. The percentages of kids who lie, which may surprise you, 2-year-olds 20%, 3-year-olds 50%. Look at the jump there for the 4-year-olds. 90% of 4-year-olds lie, 16-year-olds about 70%. I don't have data on adults, but I can imagine that it's pretty high. Interesting thing about this data is the jump from 2-year-olds to 4-year-olds. Why does it go up so much? This reflects an increase in cognitive ability on the part of kids. Kids can now think better, they can imagine more, and they can think, if I can tell mom or dad this particular thing, I may get out of trouble. So that's why we're getting the increase in lying. Another thought that we think is there's absolutely no reason for anyone to lie. And this is also incorrect. Let's look at the 2 big reasons why people lie. The first one is to impress other people. That's not the one that we're concerned about here today. By far, the biggest cause of lying is to avoid trouble by covering up misbehavior or mistakes. And this is the one we are concerned about today. This is the classic, the dog ate my homework. This little boy is trying to get away with, he didn't do his homework as a misbehavior, not doing your homework. It's trouble for him. So he's making up a story in the hopes that the teacher will buy it. Unfortunately, the teacher looks like she's heard it before, and the little girl sitting in front of this boy sounds like she's heard it before too. So it's not going over too well. Do you cause lying, or can you cause lying as a parent? No, you really don't cause lying, but you can increase the chances your kids will lie. Now, how do you do that? Well, here's the biggest way to increase the chances your kids will lie, and that's what I call cornering kids. Cornering kids means you know what happened, but you're going to test the child to see if they're going to tell you the truth. So you're going to ask them what happened, even though you already know, and you're going to see if they tell you the truth. To give you an example, your son Tom is in a fight at school during lunch. You know this because at 1:45, the assistant principal, Mr. Pasquini, called and told you that Tom was in a fight, and he tells you a little bit about it. At 3:15, Tom walks in the door. Hey, what's going to happen? Well, this parent is going to corner Tom. Tom, how was your day? Tom says, fine. Anything unusual happen? No, everything's fine. Nice sandwich you made for me, Mom. Are you absolutely sure nothing unusual happened? No, everything was okay the whole day. How did you get along with Davy Smith? And he says, fine, no problem. Listen, young man, I happen to know that you got in a fight with Davy Smith because Mr. Pasquini called me, and so on. So the parent corners the boy. He lies 4 times and gets 4 times to practice lying. So the parent is cornering him to see if he tells the truth. He doesn't know what mom knows. And so in this situation, he tries to lie about it and cover it up. And he gets in big trouble for doing this. But he gets 4 times to practice lying. So what does cornering do? Cornering gives kids time to practice their lying skills. And I've told many parents over the years, 10 years of parental cornering will produce an accomplished liar. So we don't want to corner kids. Okay, so we've learned so far we got to think correctly about lying. It's a fairly normal thing. It's usually done to cover up misbehavior and so on. It's not unusual at all. It's not a sign of mental illness. What are we going to do? What was our battle plan? So there's 2 possibilities. Something happened and you either know what happened or you don't know what happened. If you know what happened and you know who's responsible, just say so and then discuss it with the child. And maybe there will be a consequence. If the child broke a lamp in the other room and they were the only one in there and you know they did it, you just tell them, you broke the lamp. If it's a first offense, you might not do anything. If it's a repeated offense, then you may consequence fine them or something like that. If you know what happened and you know who's responsible, don't corner the child. Don't test them to see if they're going to lie or not. What if you don't know what happened? If you don't know what happened, then you could use some more information, couldn't you? So you want to give them time to think before they respond. And so you say, look, at this and such happened. I'm missing $5 from my wallet or from my dresser. And I'm wondering if you borrowed it. I want you to think this over before you tell me what your response is. And you accept their answer, whatever they tell you, until you find out that they lied, or maybe you find out some different interpretation of the situation. And if they lie, you might consequence them for the lie as well as for the misbehavior if it was a serious enough thing. And finally, we're talking about lying. What's often super duper important in dealing with lying is, if possible, fix the problem that's being lied about. Remember, lying is to cover misbehavior. If a misbehavior is repeated over and over again, we got another problem. We got that misbehavior we have to deal with, and we don't want the child to feel that pressure to lie. Give an example. This is a very good example. Homework. Monday, you ask your daughter, do you have your homework done? Yep. Tuesday, homework done? Yep. Wednesday, homework done? Yep. On and on throughout the week. Friday, teacher calls. She hasn't done any homework the whole week. So what happened with this? Well, what happened was this girl got 4 more chances to practice lying, at least 4 during the week. And that's not good. We don't want an accomplished liar. What do you need to do? You need to fix the problem that's being lied about. So you need to set up a routine for homework. Maybe 4 o'clock is homework time every day. We're going to get an assignment sheet from the homework hotline on the computer, and we'll check out your work after you're done with it. Something that's a routine where the ability and the opportunity to lie is not there. So what have we learned today, real quick? A summary is about, when it comes to lying, relax and think. It's not the end of the world. It's not a super duper horrible thing. Avoid cornering kids to see if they're going to lie. If you know what happened, discuss it with them, consequence it if necessary. If you don't know what happened, ask the child what happened, accept what they say. If you find out later that they lied, you can consequence them for the lie and the behavior that was being covered up. And if possible, fix the problem that prompts the lying. Very, very important. Oh, one more thing, don't forget, when the kids do tell the truth and you know it's hard for them to do that, reinforce that. I'm proud of you. It was hard for you to tell me the truth. I'm glad you did. And I hope that continues in the future. So good luck with lying. Can be a very upsetting problem. Doesn't have to be all the time. And if you're interested in 1, 2, 3 Magic, lying is dealt with in chapter 8. So that's the story for this week, and we'll see you next time.